Hey guys, sorry it's taken me a moment to get to this backtest video, just have been busy. So let's get into this real quick. Let me show you guys the Discord real quick and then I'll get into the whole idea of what was going on here. So MU, looks like we signaled it at 8:49 a.m. as a scalp, 90 calls, entry at 0.38, stop loss at 0.30. So that's about all we need to know for right now. Now we can go back up to the display. Let me explain to you guys my mindset here whenever we were entering MU. The week of entry, or the week of that we were doing this, chipsets were in the news quite a bit in terms of that shortage, and MU, I believe, was one of the ones that said that they would not be affected by it, or they would be able to maneuver around it in a way to mitigate those shortages. So between them having the good news and them testing their intraday highs steadily for the week, and it looks like trying to revisit their highs for the month, which I believe were all-time highs. Yep. So the chances of revisiting highs, let alone creating all-time highs, was a pretty good sentiment here for MU. I'll tell you right now, what happened here was I broke the golden rule. Plan your trade and trade your plans. I planned the trade and I didn't trade the plan. I adjusted the plan. Why create a plan if you're going to adjust it to your liking on the go? There's usually a reason you come up with a plan, and it's based on some kind of fundamentals or some kind of analysis. So why is that going to change? I'm almost preaching at myself right here. I'm just kind of telling you guys. So anyways, that was the mindset there. What we were doing is we were trading as we were approaching, and actually we are a bit past where I want to be. We are past this. So let me go to 844. So before we started seeing all the crazy action, this is about 14 minutes after the bell opened. We were looking at this level right here to be some resistance. We were looking at this for our first support, and then the next support would be right here. I, as being a momentum trader and mainly going off price action, I wanted to see a good break with confirmation above this resistance right here at the 88.05 levels, 88.06. So that's what we were waiting for. And what you'll see ended up happening is what we call a fake out, which you're seeing right here. It's whenever you think it's confirmation in a way, but it's not. It ends up showing that quick confirmation that you wanted, and then quickly rejecting back below. So you'll see that here in a second. I'll fast forward this just a moment to the 846s. Just to speed it up just a tad, 846.45. So let's do that. And you'll see what I mean here. You'll see how this big green candle broke out above this, and then we tested those intraday highs, and immediately we're started to get pushed back down by the bears a bit. If we could look at the level 2 data this far back on the back testing on the on-demand thing, we would be able to see kind of see how the sell orders were coming in while we were making these highs, and what was attributing to the sell-off in a way. But anyways, this is what we call that fake out, and again, this is why we wait for confirmation. 2 to 3 green candles showing good growth. You don't need any of this big, you don't want a small candle, big wick, anything like that for confirmation. You want solid confirmation. So thankfully I was smart enough to avoid this. We didn't end up buying at the top per se, like we could have. Somebody might have seen that candle and be like, oh, confirmation, but nope. You need to wait for that second candle to fully develop, and preferably wait for a third one to start before you start determining if something was indeed confirmation. So anyway, going back onto the entry here, entry for us was at 0.38 and was at around 849. I'm going to do this to the best of my ability. I can already tell you it's not going to be as smooth as it would be in a live setting. I just know that for a fact. So you guys can just try to bear with me here as I exemplify this trade. We're going to do it just like how I did here. We're going to enter it and we're going to stop out. and we are going to wait for a re-entry and buy that re-entry like we did. So we're approaching 849. We're about to be entering here at the 0.38 levels. You can see it just dropped really bad for a second there on the option chart. But what we ended up, the part where I ended up changing the plan was right here. I ended up moving. I ended up saying, okay, if we can reject off this support right here, and if we can get confirmation above that, we'll enter. And that's what ended up happening. You can see it rejected off this really pretty nicely and then immediately turned green. And I was like, okay, let's buy the dip, which is what we did. So let's go over here. We'll take 10. We're going to take it at market. Actually, yeah, let's take it at market so we can try and get the closest price that we can. Because see, it's trading at 0.34 on the ask and bid. The bid is a little high, or the bid's a little low. The ask is a little high, so we're catching that middle ground there. We're catching exactly what we're trading at on the chart. So we're taking a little bit of a lower price than what I would have signaled, which might be realistic for the circumstances, considering some of you guys are just lagging behind a tad bit. But here's probably more where we entered right here, the 0.3739, probably right on this candle. So let's go ahead and go back over here to monitor just so that we can, or here actually we'll do this. No, I'm going to do it like this for you guys. Sorry, again, so we would want to do a stop at 0.30, and we're going to wait for that stop to hit. And while that stop, well, I'm going to wait just for a second. I want to see it hit on camera for you guys, or on screen. And then once we hit that, I'll go back to the Discord and we'll kind of roll through what all that gunk is there. And we should be getting out of these pretty. Let me make sure SL's hit on MU at 8:53. So we're about 2 minutes away here. Let's go ahead and fast forward this just 1 minute. Don't want to be greedy with our time and skip and miss the limit sell, because if you skip past the time, it'll completely skip past your alerts, which is a bad thing about back testing. So you got to be mindful of that when you back test strategies, those of you that do this. So we're approaching on that 8:53 marker, which is when our SL hit. So just give it one more moment. See, and we ended up breaking down through that support, which is how I set our SLs. If don't set your SLs by percentage. That's a reckless strategy. You need to be doing it based on levels. You need to have some kind of a rhyme and reason to be doing what you're doing. If you're just saying, oh, I'm going to take a 15% loss, well, who's to say that maybe at 16% there isn't some support that you could be battling and potentially bounce off of? It's wise to always plot your levels. So right here you can see we're doing this little funky stuff, and what's happening is just there we go, that just sold. I was saying that bid and that ask is just so high off that we're not really getting a great execution there. So anywho, there we go. We went out, we exited on that. So let's go ahead and get you guys back on the Discord right here. So you can see we signaled SL hit right there on 8:53. Re-entry near 0.23s look good. Again, this is something this was more of like a recommendation. This isn't anything I expected you guys to get into because we didn't officially signal the re-entry, so we're not going off the 0.23s. So, but anyway, this is just an example. If you did and you were quick enough, and if you were, felt comfortable, you would have made a quick 63% within 4 minutes or so of that entry. So that's a good example. So anyways, you can see here around, I don't even know what time it was, around 9:10 or so, 9 a.m. I said we were bouncing off the 87 support pretty heavily, which is right around here. And that we would be looking to Oh wait, another good possible reentry. Last one, we will signal we'll take profit on this reentry. So again, I will go, let me revise what I just said. I guess I did this was before I kind of perfected my little system here. Technically, we would have re-entered at these 0.23s, but for the sake of this videos, we're going off of this one, which is a much clearer signal, if you will. So let's just go ahead and wait here. I want to again, let's make sure 9:10ish. Okay, we'll fast forward just a tad. We're not trying to wait forever here, of course. So let me go back to this right here. Let's do 9:08, and let's see where we're trading at right there. Okay, perfect. Perfect. This is roughly that price level that I was saying that we were rejecting off of right there, and that we would be re-entering for the last time at 0.18. So let's go ahead and it's buffering. There we go. Let's go ahead and wait just a moment. I'll go ahead and, I'm sorry guys. I'm bumping up to 909.21, and we'll give it that. At 9:10 is where I said we re-entered at 0.18. We're already trading at 0.18. You can see that bid and that ask tightened up nicely. That's always a better sign when it comes to trading. So let's go ahead and assume that we are re-entering right around here. Of course, we want a better price than 20. Okay, we're trading at 18 on the chart, so that's what we're going to get. So let's say we bought in more, and we'll take market just for the sake of the video. 0.20, oh shit, we went up on the chart a bit. That's okay, yeah. And then we went back down. That's okay. For the sake of the video, we don't need to be spot on and perfect here, but this is just kind of going off of how we would have done this, I guess you could say. And again, we are strictly going off the fact that we are rejecting off of the support right here. And I'll be real with you guys, there is no way that we re-entered before that right there. I wouldn't have let us re-enter. It's still 9:10, so we probably signaled these 0.18s a little bit later than where I entered on this video you're watching here. But you can see that's what happened. We had that green candle, another green candle. And again, I might have pushed the gun just a tad, but I knew the potential that we had in terms of re-entering at this low. So we can go ahead and, at this point, we can assume that we're in it at 0.18. We have really good confirmation showing right here. A little bit of a fight going on, but it's getting stronger and stronger. You know, each candle that we can open up green on is better for our cause. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of watch and see here. Now that this is our official re-entry, we're just going to sit here and kind of see what it is, what we can make back. We are down 75 for the day. Let's see how far we can minimize that loss off of this strategy. And again, in order for this to work the best that it can, you want to usually enter and exit the same amount of contracts. You know, if you stop out 10, you need to re-enter 10 type of situation. It helps, you know, whereas if you only do 5, half that value is missing potentially. So looky here. So you can see on the chart we're climbing up nicely here, and just kind of trading in between this support and resistance right here. So at 9:11 we signaled 20% on MU, which is about right here. I want to say it's hard for me to tell on here. I don't have my shit set up the way that I do on my other one. just kind of sitting here waiting, because I'm not quite sure what this is doing. There we go. Okay, so we can see our profit loss for the day has dropped down to 40. We are still gonna hold on to that. Let's go back to the Discord here. I'm sorry this video is long, by the way, but this is you know, the price of learning something like this. So let's go back here. Again, that's 44% off the re-entry. That's about, I'd say this is about 44% right here, especially considering 9/11, yeah, 9/12, 9/13. That's about where we're getting at right there. Hold on, my mom's calling. I gotta take this. I'm gonna pause this. Okay, is that back on? Okay, so I think I might have messed that pause up a little bit, so sorry if you guys heard that. So anyways, I paused Thinkorswim so I can talk for a moment without having to take my eyes off. So real quick, let's go through this Discord real quick. So you can see we ended up taking that 44% off that re-entry, or if you held, it was a 15% off the original. Pardon me. So given this right here, I'm going to give you two different scenarios on how this could have helped you at this point. So at this point, if you would have gotten out and re-entered, you would have successfully minimized your losses in the sense that you halved them. They were $75, now they're only $40. Again, you could have even, in the sense, like when it comes to averaging down, you usually have to double what you put in before for it to affect anything. So in terms of positively, unless you're just getting it at such an insanely low price. So you know, maybe if we would have done 15 or 20 contracts, it would have shown a bigger difference here. But that's not wise in terms of risk management. So there's no sense in doing that. So you know, stick to what you were entering, unless 20 contracts is still cheaper than what the 10 original ones were. The name of the game is not to increase the risk, but to minimize it. So you can't minimize your risk if you're maximizing it first. You have to cancel one out. So anywho, let's go through this Discord out, and this is where I asked you guys if you guys wanted to see this this video. So this is me doing that now. So let's go ahead and say that maybe you didn't take the 40% on re-entry right here, or that maybe you did, or maybe you did. Let's just say you didn't, because I want to show you what could happen even further. Because at this point you've already made back a decent amount. So you know, maybe let's go to my screen up here. Let's do this. Let's scale out of 5. Okay, we're going to continue this, and we are going to create a closing order, and we are going to get out of 5 of these. Okay, we're gonna get out of them at market, just for the sake of this video. So that leaves us with 5 left. We have successfully made $15 for the day. We are ultimately still only down $40 for the day. Keep in mind we still have 5 contracts, so that value could change if these other 5 go down. But still, we have successfully halved our value, halved our losses, and we still have 5 contracts holding. So let's go ahead and skip until tomorrow or the next day. So we are going to go to right here. We're going to do 8:30. And then we are going to do the 19th. And we're going to hit go on that. We're going to, right up here, pre-buffering, that's what we're keeping an eye on. As soon as that says live, we'll be live. But it looks like at 8:33, or so, we start pumping up on MU again. So And at 8:42, we closed MU's other re-entry. So let's go back over here. We are officially up, only at 8:31 for the day, we are officially up $157 from that $75 loss yesterday off of this re-entry and scaling out of 5. 5 contracts is effectively making us $212.50 right now. This isn't even where we sold out. So let's say maybe you did sell out right here. Congratulations. You know, let's say you're being good, okay? You're being good. You're getting rid of 2 more contracts at a market. This is manually scaling out in a sense. Okay, perfect. We scaled out right there, and we missed that sell-off. We might have actually hit that sell-off just a tad. That's okay. That's my fault. I was doing it in the name of the video, and I wasn't really paying attention to the price like I should have. So anyways, that was in a sense I could have looked at the chart a little better, but you've seen what we just did. We secured another practically third of our trade's value before it potentially sold off again. So again, we did more to mitigate losses. Now, because we only have 2 contracts left, now we can only potentially lose a max of, what is this, $64, 29 times 2, something like that, $54 or whatever, math. That's all you can lose right now. If it goes all the way down to 0, that's the most money you can lose. And the fact that it's at still 0.40 means that you're up 100% on this trade right now. So that's the beauty in that. But let's go ahead and where we officially closed this trade was around 8:44. So let's do that. Let's do 8:43, and we'll go to the 55-second mark. And we will see where we ended up here. And this is just to show you guys all end for end, scaling out the way that we did, doing everything you could to minimize your losses, and even selling part of your trade early before we hit the full amount. This is a perfect example on how well this could have worked out for you. So you can see we're in the money right here, and we are officially at 0.79. That is about 200% of our original entry right there. And again, no need to be greedy. We will go ahead and take that. We will sell these remaining 2 orders for that right there. And we came back from $75 to a $131 profit. $75 loss to a $131 profit, which could have been a lot more if I didn't mistakenly sell half of that trade for a larger loss than what I wanted. This could have potentially easily been about $200 for the total amount of this trade, which was 10 contracts at about 0.18 after that $75 loss. So not bad, guys. I hope this video was easy enough to understand. Again, the name of this game isn't to just bank off of a re-entry. It's not to hit a YOLO. It's to get rid of losses. It's a way to mitigate losses, a way to minimize them. So if you guys have any questions, if anything was confusing, if there's anything I can clarify any better, let me know. I would be happy to. And again, sorry the video is so long, but this sort of thing you can't make into a short video, otherwise it's ill-conceived and just isn't going to work for anybody. So either way, guys, have a great morning. I will probably see some of you guys on our webinar. We are firing that up here in about 3 or 4 hours, so that's next on the agenda.